All right, take it away, Ryan.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Today, we're going to go over the EB3 Benefit Builder System with Joe Blascak. He's been a longtime friend of Cornerstone and is actually a broker himself that saw a need for a better booklet builder technology. So it's really built with the eye of a broker, exactly, as a benefits broker would want it and needs to use it. So we're extremely excited to partner with Joe to roll this out. It's got some really good features to it, which he will show you here in a minute. But before we get into that, just a couple of housekeeping items. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just type them into the question box on the right side of your screen. And at the end of the presentation, we'll go through all of those and get all of your questions answered. This is me. If you have any questions after the presentation, feel free to give me a call or send me an email or reach out to your usual Cornerstone contact in your area. And we're happy to answer any questions and get you signed up for the system. A couple programs at Cornerstone, just as a reminder. The Agency Services Program is designed to help you make a plan for your business, clients, and family, no matter the situation. A couple different programs that are all baked into that. The Autopilot Program, it's a compensation-based referral program where if there's any type of health insurance-related products that fall outside of your scope, you can refer them into Cornerstone, and we will get those written and split the commission back with you. Parachute and Flight Plan are both targeted around either retirement or succession planning. If you don't have a plan for your business or a worst case scenario plan, we're happy to put something in place to where your family or your business is protected, whether you're planning to retire or just don't have a worst case scenario plan. So you can check all that stuff out on our website, crnstone.com, what we offer. / agency-services-program. So I'd recommend going to check that out if you're not familiar with it. And finally, earn a $250 bonus through our refer an agent program. If you know anybody or any benefits brokers in the market that don't work with Cornerstone and you send them our way, as soon as they write their first piece of business, we will send you a check for $250 for that referral. So it's just as simple as sending over a name and we will track it the rest of the way. With that, I will pass it on to Joe to share and explain the EB3 system.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. And thank you to you and all of Cornerstone for allowing me to come on and present this. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to giving the agents in Ohio and Kentucky here a useful tool, I feel, that will help them not only make things easier in their current block of business, but hopefully to gain business as well. So just a quick brief overview. EB3 stands for the Employee Benefit Booklet Builder. That's a bit of a mouthful, so we just called it EB3, if everyone can see my screen here. And the website is eb3, the word 3, all spelled out, .com, so eb3.com. Before I get into going over the booklet itself, just backtracking a second, I really, as a benefit broker myself, I built this out of necessity, right? So I did everything that everyone else probably did at one point or another, and I was using PowerPoint, I was using Word documents, I was using Excel documents that I'd created, and what I found is that during this entire process, just simply having a platform or a template built out was great. But what happens when you have, you have your medical with Humana or Anthem or say Medical Mutual or United Healthcare or something like that, and it's you have a template for a four-tier contribution for the rates per paycheck, and then it switches because they went down in participation down to age banded the next day, or and you want to show all those rates or something like that. Having to create that, copy and paste and everything, and go back and forth. I mean, you're eventually able to get it through your own creations to look professional, and it's something nice that you can send out to the clients, which is great, but it just took forever. I'd find myself spending a couple hours a day at renewal for certain clients, and we know that, you know, for 1/1, 7/1, 5/1, you can't spend that kind of time. So anyhow, that was one of the reasons that that I started looking into creating a platform like this. And then, so like any responsible business owner, I Googled it just to see if I could find anything out there that that made sense financially for me and was a good fit and would give a professional looking booklet to my clients. Because, you know, as we all know, I mean, most of our clients now are doing online enrollment, they're doing various things, but nothing really substitutes the power of that benefit booklet. The benefit booklet, in the way that I've created it, answers a ton of frequently asked questions, not only from the employees, but the HR person or the owner of the company, depending on the size of the company and what kind of employees they have. So the benefit booklet is still a staple, even if it's not printed. It's still a staple that, you know, people still look to for various answers, and I'll get into some of the things that I've created here in a minute. But, you know, I was Googling for some sort of scenario where I could find something that's affordable and would make sense and look professional. And I found a few things out there, but really there was just so much tied to each one of these subscriptions. And, you know, the benefit booklet was here, but wrap creation and pop creation was over here. We had to send that off to a TPA or this or that, or they were, you know, really focused on a bunch of tools that I really wasn't going to use, like, you know, maybe benchmarking tools or something, which may be great to schmooze a 2,000 life client, but at the same day, you know, at the end of the day, the 2 life group and the 2,000 life group all want the same thing. They want the lowest deductible for the lowest price with the best network. And if it's the 2,000 life group, they want the best way to mitigate their claims, which can be through, you know, direct contracting with hospital systems, or, you know, reference-based pricing, or, you know, whatever it may be, or, you know, carving out specialty and putting in a script sourcing type scenario. So, you know, I just looked at those tools and I'm like, you know, I don't really feel like this is a fit, and I'm going to spend like close to $1,000 doing this every month. I think I'm just going to create a solution, and that's what I've done. So I'm going to jump into the actual booklet builder right now. I just want to give you a little bit of background on why I created it, what the need was there. And before I do, I'm a huge advocate for transparency. So when I sit through a webinar, or you know, I schedule a meeting with somebody to go over their product, I want to have some idea of what the pricing is and the utilization of the product before I even go into it. Because at the end of the day, you know, if it's not within my budget, I really don't want to spend any time with it. So I'm actually going to show you a couple things real quick before we dive into the booklet itself. So the first thing, this is the home page right here. You can see right here, see it before you buy it, take the system for a test drive. You can literally click on this button and jump in, and you can create your own companies and your own booklets. These are booklets from people around the country. Since this is a national product that have come in, this is the latest. I delete this every so often just to make sure that there's enough space for everybody. But this is, you can go in here, you can take a look at tutorial videos on actually how to do it. This is the same setup and the same system as the regular system that I'm going to go through here in a minute. The only difference is when you click on this and you go to click on a booklet, the booklet that you're gonna generate is going to have sample written across it, just to show that it's a sample. So you can't you know, do a full-blown booklet, but you can utilize all the features of the regular system on here just to check it out, just to see if you like it. I'm a huge advocate in letting people do that, and you can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So feel free to try the demo before, if you are interested, you know, before you would take it, before you would purchase. And then pricing is very straightforward. It's listed right here, and you can sign up 24/7 on the site whenever you want. If you want to do this at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, you absolutely can. For an agent level subscription, it's $199 a month. There's no startup fee, because I hate startup fees. There's no contracts. It's all month to month. My hope is that you'll like the system, you'll load in your clients, and you'll be happy with it to where you're using it year over year. And if not, no hard feelings, that's okay. So it's $199 for an agent level subscription. You get one user, and you can load and save up to 75 clients. And that's clients. So each client can have an unlimited number of booklets, but you can load in up to 75 clients. If you want an agency subscription, it's $4.99 a month, and you can load and save up to 500 clients. And there's unlimited users on this one. The only caveat with agency and enterprise is that all the users must be part of the same agency. We just don't want any aggregating on that. But for unlimited users, that basically means that everyone in your agency can have their own username, sign on, and their own block of business all separated out. So, and then enterprise is basically the same thing as agency. You can just load and save up to 1,000 clients in there. Same thing, unlimited users, no startup fees for any of these, no contracts for any of these. And you can literally sign up from right here on a secure basis. So feel free to check that out. And Cornerstone actually has their own link, which they'll send you. If you do have interest in the product, they will send this off to you, and you can sign up through their link. So with that, I am going to jump into the system. All right. And for those of you that do sign up for any of the agency or the enterprise subscriptions, this is the layout that you'll see on your home screen when you log in. So basically, you're going to be able to see any agents that you have. You can go down here, click on agents down here, click it up on this hyperlink. You can get to any companies right here, but you can go in, and I have a tutorial on this, but you can add an agent, add in their email, their phone number, their password, everything like that, and they will get an email once you have added them into the system so that they can log in. But you can manage all that from basically this dashboard. So that's the agency dashboard. I'm going to log in here as an agent. And here's what each agent, when they log in, this is going to be your main dashboard. So if you just purchased the agent subscription, which most people do, you know, if you have an agency and you want to go that route, then that's great. And in the pricing, I priced these so that really, you know, from agent subscription, it's a fraction of the commission that you're receiving for, you know, a 10, 15 life group. I wanted to keep it very cheap. All the subscriptions, you can do all the same things. There's no upgrades from agent to agency to enterprise. They're all the same things. It's just the number of users and the number of clients that you can load in. So from the home screen here, you'll see that it defaults to your company's page. So all the companies that you've loaded in here. There's also profile down here that basically shows all your information. If somebody forgets their password, the password's right here. You can change that at will. And then the tutorial page. You can see my smiling face right here. Happy to introduce you to Eb3, wearing my Buckeyes shirt. And there's an Eb3 Instruction Manual that you can download right here. But seriously, the big thing is, I'm going to go through all this stuff today, but you're going to see an exact representation, recreation of everything I'm going through today on all these videos. And the videos are very short. The longest one I think is like 14 minutes, and that's with step 4 because it's a 5-step process. So here's the introduction page just to kind of give you an overview on how to create a company. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then what you can do with all the finished products. So this literally walks you through every step of the process. I give you some FAQs and some tips and tricks that I would do to make this process easier as you go along. Because the nice thing about the system is, based on some of the things that you can build out, it actually takes less time the more booklets that you build, because you can save certain aspects into the system. So with that, let's just create a booklet. You can see I've created my buddy Chuck Norris Inc. here, we'll create a new company here. So when you click Add Company up in the upper right-hand corner, it'll give you all this information. One of the things that I'm a huge advocate for is not wasting time. None of us have any time to waste. We have a million things going on every day. And so one of the things that I did, I put all this information in because in this system, you'll have the opportunity to load in annual legal notices, wrap SPDs, and POP documents. And a lot of this information is very redundant. It populates in a lot of different places. So what I've done, once you load all this information in for the company, it'll actually transpose over to all those other fields so that you won't have to continuously enter this information over and over and over again, just a way to save you some time. So let's go in here. I'm going to choose a file, contact person title, enter a street address, then give the 9-digit tax ID, and save company. That's going to take us back to our list of companies. You can see right here that it's loaded my logo and it's loaded the company. Once the company's loaded, it's time to create a booklet. So we click on the hyperlink here. If you want to edit anything at any point in time, you can go over here and left click on the edit button, or you can delete the group, the company as well, and this will delete all booklets associated with it too. So if we left click on here, here's the booklet screen. Again, you can create unlimited number of booklets for the for all your companies that you load. So we're going to click on create new booklet. We'll just name it 2021 benefit booklets. If for whatever reason you accidentally clicked on the wrong company, once you have several clients loaded in here, you can actually go back and click on the correct company and it'll load the booklet underneath that. So this is just a kind of a fail safe right here. Benefit booklet year, you can click on the calendar or you can enter it yourself. We'll just click May 1st, 2021. And I loaded the client logo right here just because of the theme colors down here. So I like to, for my clients, I like to load in something that looks like the color of their logo to kind of match the color scheme. So I could do a green for this. You can do a bunch of different colors. As you can see, you can kind of flip back through all of these. And I think I'll land on the light blue. If you want to do something more custom, you can. You can see headings color, box background color, and you can see where it correlates into all this. But you can go in and you can actually left click on the color, and through your computer's spectrum system here, where it has all the various colors, you can change that color around to make it a color that's more fitting for your client if you'd like, and not just have to use the preset colors. Once you've clicked on your color, you have 7 different benefit booklet cover pages to choose from. You can choose one with stock photos, or you can just choose one with some designs. Just use a stock photo one right here and click Save and Next. And that was step 1. As you can see now, you have, once you've created that initial step, you can now roam freely between all the different steps. I recommend going in order, but if you're going back to edit something or whatever, once you go back in, you can click on these and you'll be able to go to each step, whatever one you want. Literally, step 2, I'm going to talk about it for a second, but it takes all of 15 seconds to do this. As long as you have, all your benefit summaries in front of you and everything, and you know which plans that you'd like to create, this is a fairly simple page. One of the things that I really wanted to do on this page too, is you can see each one of these is in a light blue. It's actually a hyperlink. So if you actually want to see what the page looks like before you would add it to your booklet, you can do so. So let's say we want to take a look at health. It opens up on a new page, and you can see what the format is. Now, all of these things on the side here are all customizable, which I'll show you here in step 4, but this is what the format of the page looks like, right? Same thing if you're thinking about doing a dual option or something like that. Here's the layout. And you can see up here that carrier name is present. I know in the state of Ohio, you can't have more than one carrier involved at the, you can't have 2 carriers, medical carriers in at the same time with a group, but in certain other states, California, I know, for instance, they have the ability to load in multiple carriers into one client. So I wanted to put carrier name up here since this is a national product. So just in case you're wondering why that says that, why that's structured like that, that is the reason why. So if we go up here, let's say we're going to do health dual, we're going to do dental, vision, and life insurance for right now. There's other things right here. Select pages, insurance terms and definitions, and important items to remember, I feel are huge. These are big things that I would include all the time. I'm going to show you in step 4 some of the provisions of what's in there. You can customize them as you want, but I would include these in every single one of your booklets, just because insurance terms and definitions, it literally is what it says right there. It talks about, you know, a PPO versus an HMO, an embedded deductible versus an aggregate deductible. It may talk about, you know, FSAs, HSAs, you know, the whole alphabet soup of acronyms that we have in the business. It goes over those, and you can customize it to make it say whatever you'd like. Important items to remember has the new higher waiting period in it, termination of benefits, Cobra, Mini Cobra, the whole 9 yards. So these are pages I've created just to put in there. They're questions that I'm asked from not only employees, but the HR personnel and owners all the time. And so I just decided to stick it in a booklet. Notes, I always include this and put it at the end. This is just a place for the employees, just a bunch of lines for the employees to take a look at and write in their notes if you are doing a full-blown benefit meeting with people there. And then legal notices. These are some of the annual legal notices that may or may not be subject to your clients. I'm going to put in a couple of them here. Say RX Medicare creditable coverage, COVID notice, do the GINA Act, and a couple of these other ones here. Let's do the marketplace notice as well. And then down at the bottom, again, with all the information that you've loaded in, you can create wrap SPDs and premium only plans. If you want to take a look at what they look like, you can click on them right here. As you can see, in the finished product, you'll see a logo up at the top there, and everything will be filled in. But here's the general language of how this looks. And with the compliance piece, I have it loaded in the terms and conditions that you sign off on when you initially sign up. I did have both of these created from scratch from an ERISA benefits attorney. I used Hall Benefits Law out of Georgia, and they did a great job. They created it from scratch and basically made an all-encompassing product for me, an all-encompassing document for the wrap SPD and the premium only plan. But in the instance that you think that your client may have something, you know, just kind of out there, you know, I always recommend to make sure that it's, you know, everything's 100% compliant. You know, just have a benefits attorney look it over. If you don't have access to an ERISA benefits attorney, I know, I believe Cornerstone has some available, and I can also give you the information for the attorney that actually created these documents, so that, you know, they'll be able to, you know, give your client 100% confidence that everything in their plan, if it's not just your typical health, dental, life, vision, if they have like a bunch of different nuances, you may want to make sure that all the documents are 100% in compliance just by having an attorney look it over. So with that said, once we're done selecting our plans, which will take, like I said, about 15 seconds, we're just going to click Save and Next. Okay, so this is a really important page. It doesn't take long to do this, but it's the booklet order page. So you can do various things. When you take a look down here, you can see all the plans that you've entered. If you want to add a plan, you can do so here. You can click on any one of these and click Add Plan, and it'll be loaded in. You can duplicate a plan. So I've had the question in the past, hey Joe, you know, what do I do if I have, you know, I show that you do up to a triple option on the health insurance, and you do dual options for, you know, dental, vision, life, disability, all these things. What if I have a health quadruple option? I have 4 options, or I have 6 options, or something like that. And the answer is you can do a single option and do 4 different pages, or you can do, if it's a quadruple option where you have 4 different health options, you can do a health dual option, click on it, duplicate, health dual, and then you can call it whatever you'd like, and then add in the new plan right here. So you can choose to do that and just add in 2 dual options, and that'll give you 2 pages, and it'll be all 4 of your options. Or you can do the health triple option 2 times, whatever it is. So just a few tips and tricks based on stuff that I've been asked. And then if you don't want the plan, we're just gonna select it here, unselect this one because we want to keep that one in. We're gonna click delete, and it takes it out. Now, one of the big parts of this, I'm a huge fan of using Adobe Acrobat Pro and various things like that, to where you can go in and you can reorder all the pages of a PDF document or something like that. And I wanted to offer that to you as well. So if we take a look at this, it's really, really easy to create an order for your booklet. I always like to have insurance terms and definitions and important items to remember up above all my benefits, because it's almost like a precursor to them. Insurance terms and definitions, you just left click and drag it up, and that instantly puts that at the top page of your booklet right after the cover page. Important items to remember, I put up here too. Again, these are just talking about the definitions of the plans that they're going to see down here below. And then I always like to have health up first, dental, vision, life, and then I typically like to put the notes down at the bottom. So once I've got the order down, in case I want to put anything else in the booklet itself, because I want this to be fully customizable for everybody. I know some of you out there may do property and casualty, or maybe you do 401k, or maybe you do let's just say cancer policies or hospital indemnity, or something that wasn't listed in step 2 is a benefit option that you can customize. One of the things that I really wanted to add in was the ability for you to add in your own PDF documents. So all you literally do is click add external PDF, left click it, go down to the bottom, and it's right here. You can name it whatever you'd like, or you can go in here and we're going to go to, let's just say marketing materials, and we're going to put in on level funded. So this actually will pull up the name that's loaded in my system right there. And then since that's talking about health insurance, I'm going to put that right below the health dual option, because everybody always needs to get a good, thorough explanation. All the clients need one on level funding if it's their first time. So again, all I did was left click on this little icon down here, and it opened up the internal files on my computer, and I was able to just double click and select this, and now it is loaded into my booklet. So you can load as many of these as you want, and once you're done with that, click save and next. Okay, we are on to step 4, and again, keep in mind that as I'm going through this, I just want to give you an overview of how the system works, but in the tutorial, you can literally watch all these videos. They're all going to be in there, and this will walk you through every step of the way. If you are an Excel person and you'd rather, instead of loading some of this information in, you want to upload it in Excel, there you can click on the download Excel template right here. It'll download an Excel file to where you can load everything in Excel. Once that's done, just save it as is and then upload it, and it will upload all the various all the benefits for you. I don't feel that that's the easiest way to do it, but if you are an Excel person, which I know a lot of people out there are, this is an option for you. So I'm going to go through how to do the manual entry, which becomes extremely, extremely easy. And I've gotten to the point now, if you take a look at my LinkedIn page, I actually have a video. I couldn't load it on LinkedIn because it was a little too long, but I showed step by step how I was able to create a booklet with health, dental, life, vision, I think disability in there in 10 minutes. Wrap documents, the whole 9 yards, and it was a full-blown benefit booklet, not skimping on anything. I was able to do it in 10 minutes. So that's where you're going to be able to get to once you've loaded some groups in the system, and I'm going to show you how here in a second. So this is really the meat and potatoes, the program. This is where you enter in all the documents and all the information. So right here, insurance terms and definitions, I put this up front, again, just as an explanation. You can see right here, you can edit all these different things. This is just the language that I put in there that I feel is legitimate language to use, but you don't have to use it. Now, one of the things I wanted to load in too is the fact that if some of the stuff is not applicable to your group, you just want to get rid of it. So we're gonna have a PPO plan in place today, so we don't really need HMO. So we're just going to disable that. We want to explain what the deductible, embedded deductible is. We're going to have embedded deductibles, but we're not going to have any aggregate deductibles. So we're going to click to disable that. And as we kind of go down, I'm going to disable deductible credit. I explain what negotiated rate is. Over here, explanation of benefits, and actually give a formula for what the negotiated rate actually means, because I get so many questions on this. But then there's HRAs, there's premium saver or gap plans that you can put in there. Let's just say we'll keep in HSA, we'll take out FSA, and you'll notice in here that I have all the 2021 limits in here, and I have all the 2021 limits in here, as well as due to the new law, the ability to roll over all unused funds for the FSA. So change all this at will if the company is not wanting to do that, which they don't have to. You know, feel free to change any of those things in there or create something completely different. Now, once you're done with this, with one section, one thing, do not go down and click Save and Next, just because that'll take you to step 5. What we have to do is we just have to go through each one of these very quickly and load in the information. So important items to remember: you can customize the new higher waiting period, termination of benefits. We're going to go down through some of these: open enrollment, making plan changes during the year. Again, these are questions that you know that you get 30 times a day from your client base. This puts it all in one nice spot. Cobra versus Mini Cobra. We'll say that this group is subject to Cobra, so we're going to disable Mini Cobra. We want them to stay in network. Here's another information on explanation of benefits. And then, do you need a new ID card? Questions about an insurance claim. If you want to keep these in, great. If not, that's fine too. But again, you can edit all this information at will. Now we're getting it into the actual benefits themselves. So up at the top here, the first thing we're gonna label this health insurance plan explanation. You can keep this in, or you can take it out, or you can load in whatever you want. If you want to talk about the fact that there's a core and buy-up plan, if you want to talk about some of the rates are smoker versus non-smoker, really whatever you want to do in here to explain the plan, you can, or you can simply just take it out. Now, on this, you can see right here, since it's a dual option, if it were a single option, this would not be here, but since it's a dual option, here's the input fields right here where we can input all the data. And right here in step 2, option 2, this is the second option, the dual option. If it were a triple option, there would be an option 3 over here. So that's how you toggle between the two options. Here's the kicker right here. Now, when you go to enter carrier name, plan name, you enter all these things in, you can see here that there are built-in dollar signs, percentage signs for a lot of these benefits, just because they're typically they typically have dollar signs in them. You don't have to enter any commas or anything like that. Once you have all these loaded in and you have everything loaded in, and you can see here on the left-hand side too that you can customize everything on here, right? You can customize everything. If you want to take out specialty tier 5 and put in, you know, who the PBM is or something like that, you can absolutely do that. You can customize any of these things right here. Once you have that all done, before you click Save and Next, once you've finished all the benefits and you click Save and Next, click Save Plan, and we'll actually save that plan to an internal plan library that is subject to just you as an agent, or if you have an agency or an enterprise subscription, it'll save it to the entire agency so that anyone in the agency can utilize that plan. So here's how it works. Once you have that plan saved, you go up here to Load Plan Data. You click from one of the carriers because it creates almost a hierarchy, and we'll use United Healthcare today. And it gives you the plans you can choose from. So we're going to do, say, a core plan here. Click Load Plan, and you can see it loads everything in. It's all done for you. There's even a disclaimer at the bottom just saying that it's a, a partial set of the benefits, refer to your certificate if you want more information. So we've done that for option 1. Over at option 2, load plan data. We're going to do United Healthcare, and let's say we're going to do the buy-up plan for this one. Load plan. You can see that it's all in there. One tip that I will give you, if you have another, if you have the same carrier or you even have a different carrier and the benefits are somewhat similar, or say the co-insurance percentage is somewhat similar, save yourself some time and don't do a ton of extra data entry. Literally just change the carrier name or change the plan name or both or whatever it is. Change all the applicable fields in here and click Save Plan right here. And then when you click Save and Next, it'll actually overwrite it and save that new plan while maintaining the plan that you have in here. So now you'll have an additional plan in your load plan data box that you can utilize. So the goal is to save time, and that's just one of the tips and tricks that I found that works out pretty well. So you can also, if as United Healthcare does typically every year, they typically change their plan names around. So once you've selected this, if you actually want to delete a plan, you can do that as well from this screen. All right. So we've loaded in the health options right there for the benefits portion. Dental is no different. A plan explanation, maybe you're using Delta Dental or something like that, and you want to put in the fact that they don't issue ID cards, because I get asked that all the time. You can load that in there. And I'm going to go through and load in some of these. Again, you can see that it does this. I've loaded in a lot of the most routine coverages that are used on a regular basis and that you'll find on most benefit summaries to load into this. Vision, load plan data, and I'll just leave that in here for this one. We'll just choose IMED, and we'll give them a $150 allowance right there. You can see it populates all that, all the frequencies are right there, the whole 9 yards. And again, I like to put in network name because that changes with IMED, member website, customer service phone numbers, the whole 9 yards. Life insurance. Go down here, load plan data, and we'll give this one to Lincoln. Term life insurance, load plan. Again, you can put in whatever you'd like. I like to be a little detailed with the beneficiary and the taxation of the benefit, which I have as well in like disability insurance too. So once we're done with the benefits, we go over to the legal notices. Basically what I've done is I've taken the Word documents that are on the DOL website and have basically pulled out all the various features, all the different things that you need to load in, and have incorporated them into this online system. So on different things to where there's literally just 2 options, we created drop-down boxes. You can see right here that some of this information is already listed. Here, you just read through what's on the left-hand side and load that in. And then we're just going to go one by one. Again, this doesn't take very long just because, as you can see, all the information that we loaded into the company portion of the system is transposed right here onto this. So we're going to say we're going to offer this to some employees, full-time eligible. That's what we're going to offer it to. We do offer coverage to dependents. We're going to say spouses and children up to age 26. Does the plan meet minimum value standard? Yes, it does. RX Medicare creditable coverage disclosure, carrier plan name, so UHC in this case. We'll just give maybe a quick overview of the plan. You You can choose between will or will not as you kind of read through some of the things, and then we'll just do 5/13/2021. Everything else is loaded in, and there's your creditable coverage. You'll also notice that there's one on step 2 for non-creditable as well, just in case you have a plan that does not meet the Medicare standards. Enrollment notice, the phone number is already filled out for you. Annual notice for the women's health rights, already filled out for you. And then wrap SPD and pop docs. So you can see the bulk of this is already done. You just have to put in a few things. If this is the initial wrap, you can leave this here, or if it's an amendment, you can change that around. ERISA plan number, typically 501 in case you have different things going on there. Date of this wrap document, we'll just say it's 5/13, start of plan year. End date 4/30/2022, and then we'll just go down and fill in the starting month and day of subsequent plan year. Just basically fill in all the fields here. Plan administrator name, load those in. Legal agent name, this could be the legal agent of the group. This could be the group themselves. It really depends. So just check with your client to see if they have legal representation, or if they want, if they're their own legal representation in regards to benefit matters. Down here, additional rules and requirements for eligibility. I'm just going to put 30 days. Typically, you just want to enter in the new hire waiting period or any other stipulations that you may have. Now, for any groups that are affiliated, any affiliated companies, if you have multiple groups that are going up under one tax ID, or they have multiple tax IDs and they're under one group, you can add them in right here. So literally you just have to enter the name. I asked the attorney whether or not we needed to add in tax ID or not, and he said that that was not necessary, since that was done at the group level. When you sign up the groups, you have to give all their address, their tax ID, everything else. So all we have to do is just enter their names here, and then down here the component benefit programs that are a part of this. So just for time's sake, I'm just going to enter in. Well, let's just put in UHC. The program is medical funding. We're just going to say this one's self-funded. UHC, or we can even put UMR for the Ohio region. Typically what I do up here for eligible employees, you can just even copy and paste this if you'd like. And then certificate of coverage down here. I'm also going to enter in, just to show you, we're going to put in the dental plan right here. It's going to be fully insured. Delta. It's going to have the same eligibility as this, and then the certificate of coverage is going to be the incorporated document. So go ahead and you just basically fill out all the various components of the plan. If you have an HRA or something like that, you're going to want to put that in as well, or some sort of gap plan, you're going to want to put that in as well. Then premium only plan. We go down here, everything's pretty much filled out for you. Everything defaults to yes. So what do we want under the section 125? What do we want under the POP plan for eligible premiums? We want dental, vision, medical, dental, vision, all those. HSA contributions, yes. We're going to put no or not applicable for term life, disability. You can even add in other benefits that you'd like to list underneath this document, and say yes or not applicable for that. Now that we've finished all those, we go down and we'll click Save and Next. Takes a little bit just because of the information we've loaded in. So now we get to step 5. This is the last step in the process, and literally we are just entering in, just make sure that you have the number of pay periods per year for the group. If you have their rate guarantee, rate type, all their rates, and the contribution from the employer, that's where you can enter it here. So we'll just say up here, we're going to do 26, a rate guarantee of 12 months. And then you can choose from any of these rate types. So 2-tier composite, 3-tier, 4-tier, even 8-tier if they have the children broken out in the employee and child and children, or family if they have them broken out between 1, 2, and 3 or more. There's even an 8-tier composite for that. There's even an incentive up here where you can see base plan and incentive plan for each option, if you have a dual option or whatever it may be. But this is smoker and non-smoker. You can change this around, do whatever you want with it. You know, if they completed a biometric screening and had the results that were favorable, or whatever kind of incentive plan you want to do, you can literally label them here and put in the contributions right there. So for this, we're just going to do a 2-tier composite. You can choose between percentage, fixed dollar, so you can enter in a dollar amount, or you can do a total dollar amount for this benefit and put that in. So for this one, we'll do percentage. We're going to do 50% and 25%. And you can see over here we have all the formulas built in so that everything, all the math is done for you right here, and it brings up employee per paycheck. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that employee per paycheck is actually editable. And the reason that I did that is just because sometimes you just have the employers that they're renewing as is, and the rates went up a little bit, but they don't want to change the employee contribution. Literally in that scenario, all you have to do is enter in all this information up here, and then go down, and you don't have to enter in any percentage, any monthly premiums. Once you've entered in from pay periods down to contribution type, you literally just go down and just enter the amount per paycheck that they had last year, and that'll be fine. All right. Then we go to option 2. We're going to do the same thing here. For option 2, we're going to do 75%, and we're going to do 50%, and we'll do 500 and 1500. And you can see again, it gives you all the calculations right here. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the same thing on the rest of them here. I'll just do a fixed dollar for this one. Say $10, $5, and then we'll just say the premiums are 20 and 50 for the dental. You can see how that's calculated right in there. For vision, since it's IMED, we'll give them 48 months, do a 4-tier composite, and let's do a total dollar for this one. We'll just do $5. So we will do 8. $50. And you can see everything's based on that. Employer contribution per month is total of $5 for each one of the benefits, broken down by pay period. And then life, go into this. Now for life and all these, you can see that you can enter in full-blown ACA rates if you want. You can load in 5-year age bands. You'll notice that a lot of times Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, this is their breakdown, so you can enter those in. Life DI unit rate, you just enter in a simple unit rate. You can even do Life DI age band, and then you can choose between a 5-year or a 10-year rate down here. So you can see as I change this that it goes between the two. So really whatever you want to do, and then there's also some accident and critical illness that are specific to certain carriers. So feel free to play around with whatever one works for you on those. And then we'll just do 75% contribution on this. We'll do 100% since we're not taxing the benefit. And then we'll just say it's 0.5 for that. And then once you are done with that, you have successfully created your booklet, and you are to, it literally brings you back right to the booklet page. So once you've finished the booklet, you can go back and you can edit it, you can delete it under booklet actions. And now we want to view the booklet just to take a look at what we've created here. And the goal is, again, just to create a real professional looking booklet, which you can download, you can print, you can do whatever. So during COVID, If you're not having meetings, but your client wants to load this on their intranet or whatever it may be, you can simply download it to a PDF and send it to them. So here it is. You can see in here, it's the color scheme matches with what we selected initially. There's the logo of the company down there, insurance terms and definitions, important items to remember, initial note. I took HMO out of there. I took a few things out of here, aggregate deductible, those are all gone. Everything just maps right over. And then here is what the printout looks like of the things. And you can see right here, the premiums per paycheck based on what we put in step 5. Everything's nice, consolidated onto one page. You have in and out of network benefits, real clean cut. Here is the here's the external PDF that I loaded in. That's a part of this. We have our dental, our vision, term life, and then we go down, and here are some of the annual legal notices that we entered. The CHIP program, and as you kind of walk through these, you'll notice all the various pieces and parts that you loaded in are loaded in here. Here's the marketplace, and you can see right here that all this information is loaded in. We really didn't even have to enter in a lot of information. It was already done from the company page, so that's in there. Newborn Act. This is the Medicare enrollment notice, annual notice, and we have the COVID rights notice right there, and the GINA Act, and then your notes page. Okay, so that's the booklet itself. Again, you can download it, you can print it, whatever you'd like to do on that. A couple other features that we have on here too. You can choose to just download the booklet if you want. One of the nice things about this, if you want to keep this booklet and not just edit it over and over and over again, you can actually choose to copy the booklet. And let's just call this one 2022 benefit booklet. So if most of the benefits aren't changing year over year, and you just want to come in and tweak a few things, but you don't want to mess with your original document that you created the year before, literally just go in and do a carbon copy of it. Everything will be exactly the same, and then you can just go into the 2022 benefit booklet and just make a change. Again, the goal being to save you a ton of time. So that's the copy booklet. If you just, instead of viewing the booklet, if you just want to download it to a PDF, you can do that. Now, here's two things: election sheet and premium breakdown. You didn't do anything to create these. These are a byproduct of everything that you've entered into the system. So for those companies that do not want to do online enrollment, here is the election sheet, and you can see everything is broken down, and they can choose their coverage election right there on all the benefits that we loaded in, and then there's a spot for them to load all their information as well. So instead of you having to create election sheets, I've basically done it for you as a byproduct. There's nothing that you have to check or anything else. This is done on every single booklet that's created. Also, this is a huge one that I give to all my clients and have for years, and I've just had to create it until I built this system. This is also a byproduct of everything you've done. It's all the math. This is huge for every owner or an HR person that constantly comes back and says, hey, what was the premium on this? What's my deduction? They can literally take this sheet and give it to their payroll company, and they can see what all the deductions are, and then along with the coverage elections themselves, they can map this out. So this is a huge sheet to leave with your client. They really enjoy it, and it saves you a ton of time on the back end from having to answer a ton of questions month after month on what's the premium again, what's my contribution, and you can literally just go back and take a look. It's all broken down in here for you, as well as the continuation rates, just with a 2% add-on right here. And finally, we get down to our wrap SPDs and the POP document. So take a look at this here. As you can see, the logo's up here. All the information starts to get loaded in right here. Just trying to keep this, again, nice and clean. This was built by ERISA benefit attorneys. You can see all the information that we put in is right down in here. one of the things that I had them add in is just the initial plan year and the subsequent plan year. You're not going to find that in a lot of documents, but I customize that just because some carriers have a mutual plan renewal year. So you may find a MIWA plan that has a common renewal date of May 1st or January 1st or something like that, or some sort of plan that renews at the same time and somebody came on mid-year or something like that. So they have a short initial plan year. This is to cover all the bases there. So employer information, plan admin information, legal information right there. And then when we go down, you just want to make sure that the employer looks this over, signs and dates it, so you print out a copy or email it to them. And then here's Schedule A that shows all the component benefit programs that you listed under the WRAP SPD, backed up by their certificate of coverage, which should be made available to employees. And then Schedule B is just all the affiliated employers. So that's that. And then we have the premium only plan. Again, most of this is just has the logo up here, and you can see it's customized right there. The bulk of this is just static information that the attorneys have created. Again, the company has to sign off on that. And then here's Schedule A showing whether or not these things are actually considered 125 and they're loaded in there or not. And that is the WRAP SPD and POP document created with all the information that you loaded in. So one thing to note on the POP doc and the WRAP doc, if you want to, if you are currently or if you want to in the future charge for those, or even charge for the benefit booklets, the printing, anything on those, that is completely 100% up to you. You do not have to not charge for them. You can do whatever you want with it. I am completely open to that. I know that that's another source of revenue for some agents. Some agents choose not to charge for it, and some agents do. So again, completely up to you how you want to do that. The last thing that I'll leave you with, again, make sure that you just check out the tutorial pages. You know, they can walk you through all the steps that I just walked you through. Also, when we take a look up here, we also do printing and shipping. Again, very transparent, just give you the rates right up front. If you are an Eb3 user, you can find up here, right up here is your code that you can utilize, that you can enter in to get the Eb3 pricing. Non-Eb3 users, if you don't want to use the system, but you want to use the printing and shipping, we can do that. Keep in mind, all these rates, these include their per pages, so it shows you, you know, point blank what everything costs. But this also includes shipping to anywhere in the United States. I have the shipping fees all built in to both of these. So what you're seeing is essentially what you're paying. So if you want to order a booklet, this is all secure. You can put all this information in. Let's just say 32 pages, number of booklets. We're going to do 100 booklets. That's $600, and it is not a flimsy booklet. This is, if you're familiar with paper quality at all, it's 80-pound gloss. So it's a nice, thick, shiny paper that my clients love, and your clients will love too if they do want to do this. When you enter in the member code, it'll give you the member pricing. And then when you go down and you can either, if you want initially to have this shipped directly to you so you can deliver it to your client, you can, to get comfortability with how we do things, our turnaround times, everything, that's fine. And then, you know, once you get comfortable with it, you can even add in, you can load in the company's name and address, and we'll ship it directly to them. If you'd rather just to cut out the middleman, if you're not seeing them because of COVID, what have you. If you want to get comfortable with us, you can even do a preview of the work, and at our expense, we'll actually ship you a booklet for free, just showing you what it looks like. Just load in your information here and click submit, and that'll shoot us an email, and we will shoot you out a booklet so you can take a look at it and then kind of go from there. So again, Cornerstone has a link that you can sign up through them for pricing, but again, Here's the pricing. Again, no differences between any of the plans, other than the fact that just the number of clients and the number of users that you can put in there. So that is my spiel for the day. I really appreciate everybody looking and taking the time to walk through this with me, and I'll take any questions anybody has.
All right, thanks, Joe. Do have a couple questions that came through. The first one is in regards to minimum size group that you would recommend using this for.
That's a great question. So it really depends. You know, it's really good for some of the large groups or some of the medium-sized groups out there, because you can really give them something nice and give them an attraction for your agency. But really, I mean, you could go all the way down to a 2-life group if you wanted to, literally just because it's not going to take you as much time, and you can put in you can actually put in the wrap SPD, which odds are they're probably not complying with right now. So from a compliance standpoint, if you do have some of those smaller clients, you may want to do it for some of your smaller groups too. I do it just to make sure that they're in compliance and they're not rolling the dice with the DOL. So it's totally up to you. If you're going to sell it to a company and you're going to charge them for it, I would say probably 10 to 20 life company. You're probably going to want to charge them. Some of the smaller guys, they're probably not going to want to pay it, or maybe they will, who knows, depending on their income. But you could really do it for any size group.
Oh, perfect. Can the booklets be presented in Spanish?
That's a great question. Not at this time, but I can use that as a takeaway. I can go back and see what it would take to load that in, to convert that to Spanish. So great question. No, not at this time. But yeah, I do know in some of the southern states and some of the coastal states, there may be more Spanish-speaking employees. So I'll take that as a takeaway and check with my developers in terms of what that's going to take to do that, and then I will circle back with Ryan here within the next week and let you know.
Okay. And if I only have a few clients that this product would be the most beneficial for, do I have to do a monthly subscription, or is there a pay by booklet option?
There is not a pay by booklet option. It would just be a monthly subscription. I would recommend, obviously just doing the $200 a month one. If you just have a few of them, it may be easier for you to, at full transparency, it may be easier for you to create it on your own and do that if you only have a few. But I would say, if you have even half a dozen or something like that you want to use, you can do that. Even with a few, if you do want to sign up, keep in mind that you create it once, and then year over year, you can copy that booklet and keep all that data on there. So it's really up to you. If you only have a few, like I said, it may be easier just to create it yourself, unless you want all that data stored and you want to create the wrap SPD. And let's be honest too, I mean, if you have a few and you actually charge the clients for the wrap SPD, the pop document, and the booklet, it may pay for itself. So I know that's the goal of some of my agents that are currently on the system right now. That's how they pay for it, is by charging for some of those services. So something to think about.
All right. And then, how many agents are currently using the system? How are changes in Cobra notices, et cetera, managed? What are assurances that used properly, this meets wrap SPD requirements?
Yeah, so to address the first question, I think we have what I think maybe 50 some agents across the country utilizing the system right now. I rolled this out last year, early fourth quarter, and have made some tweaks to it since then, and really started picking up. So we have around 50 some agents using it right now across the country. And in terms of, I think the second part of the question was the validity and of the RAP SPD and the annual legal notices. So for all those, I go in anytime that there is a change. I have an HR support system that alerts me whether or not there's any changes made to these. So I go in and I will update the documents in real time as any changes made via the DOL or anything like that. I'll go in and personally make these changes. In terms of the RAP SPD, I actually have the attorney that created this on retainer, and they are monitoring this. Anytime that there is any kind of change that needs to be made, they send me the language, and I go in and I update it. So everything will be up to date. As always, the devil's in the details, and that's really what I'm trying to propose here and trying to put together is something very detailed. So yeah, everything will be up to date. That said, like I said earlier on, from a compliance standpoint, we created these documents, and I had the attorney create the documents to be more of a catch-all for all this that goes along with your certificate of coverages and benefit summaries, what have you. But if you do have a group that has just a ton of stuff going on and they have a ton of moving parts, it may not hurt to have a if you have an ERISA benefit attorney, or you ask Cornerstone to refer one, or I can refer one to you that will charge a nominal fee just to take a look at the booklet and just make sure that there's no changes that need to be made. In most cases, there's not going to be, but if you have that real large company that's got a handful of different waiting periods, they have all these different nuances with their plan, it wouldn't hurt to just have that taken a look at.
Okay. And then kind of a follow-up to that, how is the agent notified that a notice has changed in the current booklet must change?
Yeah, great question. So anytime that there is a change made, I send an email out to all brokers in the system. And basically, if you are signed up through Cornerstone, I will be sending that off to Cornerstone so that they can let everyone know as well.
Okay, thank you. And how do you add the agency logo?
The agency logo. Okay, good question. So if we go back, you're back to admin. Under profile, you can choose the picture right here. Just click browse and then upload the file, and that'll show right up here.
Perfect.
And if they're asking, now I'm thinking about it, if they're actually asking if you can add the agency logo to the actual booklet itself, that is not a feature that we have at this time, just because we're, typically most of those are focused on the client. But you can edit the PDF and put a logo on there if you want, if you have that capability. But at this time, we do not have that functionality in there.
All right. I think that is all we have in terms of questions. With that, if anybody else has any questions that come up while you're looking at the system or on the Eb3 website, feel free to reach out to me, Joe, or anybody. on the Cornerstone team that you typically work with. With that, I want to thank everyone for their time and checking out the Eb3 platform. And have a good day. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ryan. Take care.
All right. Thanks.